We have only seen chaos. We have only seen paralysis. A few hours ago, Speaker McCarthy held a vote on a truly radical CR proposal everyone knew never stood a chance of passing the Senate. And now, the House Republican CR has failed to even pass the House by an unexpectedly large and decisive margin, 34 votes, much more than most expected. The Speaker has spent weeks catering to the hard right, and now he finds himself in the exact same position he's been in since the beginning. No plan forward, no closer to passing something that avoids a shutdown. The Speaker needs to abandon his doomed mission of trying to please MAGA extremists, and instead, he needs to work across the aisle to keep the government open. Things seem to be getting worse for the Speaker rather than better, and it's time.
News about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SDI. We have a lot of good news that you need to know about this video and about the fourth stimulus check, so continue watching. You don't want to miss out on this. New information has been released by the Social Security Administration as the cost of living continues to rise. Many economists are pushing for more relief, specifically for seniors and retirees. New plans have also been put forward that provides extra financial help to Americans. Beginning in January, retirees will already see a healthy increase in their monthly Social Security checks. Benefits are increasing by 8.7% based on the cost of living adjustment announced in October, and that's the largest hike since the all-time record of 11%. Senior Citizens League also said in a statement this year that a COLA of 8.7% is a lot. In fact, the COLA has only risen about 7% 5 times since it was introduced in 1975. The 2022 COLA in comparison was only 5.9%. Next year's increase represents the agency's attempt to keep up with ongoing inflation. The adjustment is determined annually by shifts in the Consumer Price Index, which charts year-over-year fluctuations for goods and services. Since 1975, everybody, Social Security benefits have been adjusted automatically each year based on fluctuations in inflation, as determined by the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. The Social Security Administration compares the average CPIW in 3 months of the third quarter of the current year to the same time frame in the year prior. One expert even told CNN News that COLA increase is a valuable feature that keeps retirees from truly being tied to a fixed income when managing expenses. The CPIW was also 8.5% in July and dipped down to 8.3%. And so with 2023 COLA, it's 8.7%. Predictions are fluctuating greatly each year, and the nonpartisan committee responsible for our budget estimated benefits would increase by as much as 10.8%. So in July, the organization's senior policy director predicted that if inflation remained on its current trajectory, the increase would be 11% higher, the highest ever. And by August, Richard Johnson, director of the Retirement Policy Program, told American Rescue Plan that somewhere in the 9% range is probably a reasonable guess. The COLA goes into effect with December benefits, which appear in checks delivered in January 2023. Social Security payments are made on Wednesdays, following a rollout schedule based on the beneficiary's payments are necessary. Folks, we got a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SDI. New Social Security update, the final batch of monthly payments are going to be sent out this week. Millions of Americans can expect to finally receive the check tomorrow. And several top lawmakers, including Chuck Schumer, are moving forward with a bill. These bills would improve the cost of living for retirees and seniors. And it's the final week of the Social Security Administration sending out payments for the month. If you haven't received a payment yet, it can arrive this week, depending on your date of birth and how long you've been receiving Social Security. If you receive SSI, you won't actually get a July check, and you should have received it. But for people back then, July 26th is the payment date for people with birthdays between the 21st and 31st of any given month. The average American 65 years age and up earns an annual pre-tax income of $55,000, and the same group spends a $52,000 yearly payment or $4,300 a month on things like that. That income doesn't lead to a lot of extra cash for the unexpected expenses or emergencies. The average American saved 65 to 69% and has about $200,000 in the retirement savings. And according to analysis from the Federal Reserve, many seniors might still need to work even when they reach a retirement age. because health spending retirees make up an annual income of $7,000, and one way to cut costs when health issues arise is to get easily affordable preventive health care. Home costs represent the largest expense for retirees, accounting for 36% of their annual expenses. Experts say that retirees who want to gain a leg up may want to consider downsizing as prices could remain high. IRS wants to remind everybody that's potentially eligible for this payment that they may qualify for these valuable tax credits even if they are not required to file a tax return. They may still qualify for several important credits. We don't want to overlook these tax credits, and the letters will remind people of their potential eligibility. Until people claim these benefits without charge, the Free File tool is going to remain open for an extra month this year. Until November 17th, that is. The tool enables people whose incomes are $73,000 or less to file a return online for free. Individuals whose incomes are below $12,000 and couples whose incomes are below $25,000 may be able to file a tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit, which covers any stimulus payment amounts from 2021 that they may have missed and the child tax credit as well. In an effort to help families fight inflation, the New York governor has also announced last month that people in New York will receive an average payment of $270 through the state tax credit program. As part of the 2022-2023 New York State budget, New York taxpayers could receive a check for two different payments under the Empire State Child Credit and the Earned Income Credit. And while the payments will come out as a relief for many, most of the state's nearly 20 million residents are not eligible. Around 1.75 million low-income New Yorkers and families are eligible for payments. This program will actually put money back into the pockets of nearly 2 million. Now, the next round of SNAP payments will also begin on August 10th. The state of Texas will complete issuing SNAP benefits worth up to $1,700 for a month of July this week. Texas has a long window for issuing payments, lasting through the first 10 days in a month. Even the amount received depends on one family size. A single household will receive $281, and an 8-member household will receive $1,700. But on a federal level, some House representatives want to expand the number of food stamp recipients subject to work requirements and time-limited food benefits by raising the age of people covered by the rules to 65. Members are writing the bill against the backdrop of extraordinary uncertainty in the economy and inflation, including the cost of food is so high that the Federal Reserve is willing to risk a recession to slow the prices down. Economic disruptions are caused by the crisis in the robust labor market is expected to weaken in the months ahead. The past week, Democrats of the Department of Education announced that it will begin discharging student loan debts for borrowers who've been in repayment for 20 to 25 years under a one-time payment. Around 800,000 borrowers will benefit from this, and there will be $39 billion dropped. Joe Biden said the previous announcement is a one-time adjustment and will become an even more important lifeline for struggling borrowers than repayments start in September. The one-time payment adjustment the Education Department had counts certain months that were previously ineligible towards student loan forgiveness. But now, everybody, the Education Department announced a one-time payment adjustment for all direct loans and federally owned family education loans.